I'm Chase,
And I'm Timothy.
and this is customer service.
All right, baby, we're back in this bitch. It's been a wild ass, however many days.
I'm tired. I feel like I've worked 2 weeks in 1 week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In half a week, really.
Yeah, between the event last week, product coming in this week. Obviously, we're dipping, tying up loose ends. I feel crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah. You know
to
what?
begin this whole thing.
Yeah.
To sit all day.
To sit all day. Luckily, my thing is the sooner we can just get on the plane and be rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I sit down on the plane in LA for the 11 or so hour flight, which let's be grateful because I think you and I misunderstood at first. We are flying to LA. We're not flying to Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. At least on the way there. I don't know about on the way back, but
I think Abby changed it, so it's LA both ways,
okay,
which is
cool.
way better.
So at least it's that because it was 13 and a half hours. That's a little too much for me. 11 though, for some reason, I know it's not that big of a difference, but that 2 extra hours makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And then coming home is like nothing. So I'm planning to be exhausted as I can and just sleep as much as I can, dude.
See, I have a child coming with me this time, which is so fun. But it's also like normally my brain, as soon as we hit the sitting outside of wherever we're going, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's off. I'm not thinking about anything you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually the thing I like most about flying is that like for me, because of can't call anybody, can't do anything. There's nothing to do. You can kind of do work, sort of, but it's a pain in the ass to try to nap. I mean, I do it, but it's hard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For the most part, it's like no one can get in touch with me. The expectation of me is 0 right now because I can't do anything, and it's great. It's kind of mind numbing in a fun way.
Yeah, it is one of those things where, although I would rather not sit on a plane because it's not fun, there is you can't get me even if you needed to. So whatever things I'm stressing about, which is everything.
I don't worry about the length. I think people worry about the length. I'm like, you've sat in school for 8 hours and you don't do anything there, or I didn't do anything there.
Yeah.
That's 8 right there. So
Bro,
it's a regular school day.
Think back to like high school. You know, you'd get there. I think we got there at 7:50, but dude, I was done at like 1:45 too. And it's like,
well, see, we
was I complaining about?
We were there at 8, and then it was done at 3, but it was 3 p.m. was the time.
Yeah, that's still like,
and then I'd have to go to
nothing.
soccer practice.
Yeah, same.
So then add an hour and a half, 2 hours to it.
Yeah, it used to, for whatever reason, soccer was typically right after school. Well, maybe it was. I don't know, man. There seemed to be an hour between all sports.
Oh, there was definitely there was like a window because you had to like get changed. It was like an hour probably.
Yeah. I had my little 2001 Nissan Sentra, and I would put down the back seats, and I would bring a sleeping bag, and I would park outside the tennis courts and sleep with my feet in the trunk, my head, in where the back seats were, and I would just sleep.
Yeah. Good or bad, kids are using cars as beds.
Yeah.
That's just the reality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I feel like I'm ready to do it, but I am a little, normally it's just me too. So it's easy. You know what I mean? I don't have, nobody else is stressed and I don't get stressed about packing or anything like that. Because it's a pretty minimal situation for me. Yeah. And so it's easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now I've got the whole squad, which is not like, it's not a problem. They take care of themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just more things
It's
going on.
more things going on, for sure. I did my preliminary packing last night, got it stacked, but I didn't want to shove it in the bag and zip it shut, you know what I mean? Quite yet. 5 blue jackets, 3 green pants, a pair of black pants, a pair of blue pants. Done.
That's a lot of, you got a lot of pants, a lot of tops. You're really trying to not
I want to give myself the option because since Michelle and I are checking a bag, we'll bring stuff home, but like how much really? You know what I mean? Like all things considered.
See, every time I've ever traveled, I take too many outfits and I realistically wear like variations of 3 the entire time. You know what I mean? Like it's only like 3 things that you shift a couple different ways. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm just like lean into that. Just make sure everything matches. Yeah. Like color palette all matches. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, then I'm good because I can
mix and
make many outfits out of a few.
I just know last time I was like, damn it. Like there were things that I wished I had. So I'm able to, I'm good at packing, as you know, as are you. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to try to have most of the checked bag be empty, more or less, or at least I'll put shit in it, but have the opportunity to fill it with shit need be. I don't know what we're going to buy, though. A couple T-shirts, maybe. I want some coffee shop merch. You know what I mean? Michelle will buy some stuff, but like, I don't want more clothes, to be honest with you. And more clothes I want to get rid of clothes.
Well, that's the thing. I made an aggressive purge.
We've been. I know we've talked about it on the pod many times, so I'm sorry if you're exhausted from hearing it. But Timbo legitimately got rid of like everything he has.
And then I have 2 bins that I'm like slowly moving around,
accepting.
You know what I mean? In some place, in like one, I just had like. I think this is the issue that people that are into this world have, is that the easiest thing to do would be like donate it or take it to some resale place where they buy it from you right on the spot. Yeah. And the whole transaction's done right there in one lump thing. And I think a lot of the times for us, it's like, or anyone who's into this stuff, you go, well, it's worth too much to just have somebody give me, not for donations, that's a different thing, but it's also like, do I want to donate old Prada shirts to a Goodwill? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to find the right home if that, you know what I mean? I got you. And I don't know why we put these weird attachments on only certain people should have, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is, only people who'd appreciate it or whatever. Yeah. And there's, you know, especially after living in Chicago and like hanging out with a couple of the vintage guys, you know, the way the Goodwill's picked, maybe that's not true. They are finding it, but you know, it just feels too expensive to like, you know, they're not going to give me what it's technically worth. But I've also sort of like, I've been reselling for 20 years at least now. Yeah. I mean, I was on eBay before that was like as popular as it is now, or Grailed or whatever. And with all the fees that they've keep adding up and all these things, quite frankly, you're not making that much money anyway. By the time it's gone, you're pretty much getting what you'd get to drop the things off. Yeah. Now, look, there's obvious, you know, there's brands that make a lot more sense and they're a lot more collectible, and you know, but I had like probably a whole like big tubs worth of stuff that I was like, I'm not going to sell this. It's not worth my time. It's stressing me out that it's even in the location. Yeah. Because I'll get the closet where I want it, but then I'm storing things in different places. So I took 2 tubs over to a place and said, here you go. And they were like,
here in town?
Psyched. Yeah. They were like, oh my God, this is so much good stuff.
Is it the place I'm thinking of?
Yeah, well, I think so. And I said, so run it up. I just want to be done. You know what I mean? And they did, and it took all of it. And I'm like, that's beautiful. Everything else goes to donations, and I'm done. And I don't care how much money it was. I don't even really remember. Yeah. And then there's a handful of stuff that I will, you know, definitely, like, I always like to throw it on Discord to see if any of those boys you want to, you know, because I tend to list pretty low. And then maybe there's a couple other things I still need to sell that are like nicer stuff, like not necessarily like, you know, it's like weird stuff I've collected over the years. Yeah. Like I said, vintage like Prada pieces and stuff like that that I need to put a little bit more work into. But I'm down to like 1 bin. T-shirts are still pretty bad, but I got them vacuum sealed now. So, dude, I've got like 2 bricks of like, you know, it's like a suitcase size that are like vacuum sealed. It weighs like 100 pounds to pick up. It's a nightmare.
But you got a lot in there.
It's a lot in there. So those are in an area that we're all good on. You know what I mean? Right on. It's away. It's doing what it does. It's safe. Yeah. And then I'm down to very little, but I'm actually like, whenever I go down really little, I mix it up more than I normally do. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I feel like I just get locked into a couple things, and I'll switch that in a couple weeks. And it just, I don't know. I was feeling very not creative or excited about anything on. Plus, you know how we've said it before, but then nothing gets real wear, which is really what I like.
I love when my shit is like clearly mine. You know what I mean? In fact, I have the first thing I bought when I first started working at Canoe Club was a Type 2. I've said it before. Washed it. I wanted it to have some. Long story short, I shrunk it way too much. Right? It's been Michan's jacket, and I just forget. And the other day, I was like, "Oh fuck, this is so sick, dude." The wear on it is so sick. I was geeked about it. You know what I mean? I do the little thing where you fold the cuff in half instead of all the way over. It's all threadbare and shit. Really, really sick. I need to photograph it. And it has chain stitch embroidery from back when I was doing that here. And yeah, Chris, God bless Chris. That motherfucker has so much clothes. None of it gets wear. And sometimes I'll wear a pair of jeans and be like, how did you get that much wear on them? You've got 500 pairs of pants, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's nice when you got less shit and then you just wear it. And then also, it's like I was thinking last night when I was packing, I was like, man, I brought the same shit. And that made me feel good because it just means I like what I like. I have what I like to wear and I wear it. And then that's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm dressing with the same shit I was dressing from the last time we went.
Well, the other thing I think that I do sometimes, which is opposite of you, is I'll buy something nice and then that one sits on a hanger for like a year and I wear something comparable that was cheaper because I don't worry about it as much.
Yeah.
And then I don't wear the nice one because I decide that it's like a special
Silly
thing. And the I don't have any, I still will always be that way to a certain degree, mostly because I just like to collect things and I have them and I like looking at them, you know? But it just makes it so that like, I think like basically your style sort of suffers because you're like, I'm really only doing this one thing because it's like, I don't worry about it getting messed
up. It's more
fiscally.
fiscally.
I don't give a shit if it gets messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Think about it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Visvim denim jacket or whatever. It gets messed up. All right. So you wash it, you do your best not to shrink it, and you keep wearing it, and it's fine. Or if it doesn't get messed up, you send it to somebody. They'll do a cool Sashiko repair or whatever. It's yours. It's undoubtedly yours. And like, what does messed up even mean?
Well, I mean, half the shit I wear is like I'm more likely to buy things that are pre-beat up, basically. I mean, wear things that are pre-beat up because then I don't think about them at all. You know what I mean? For me personally, and I'm not looking to like break anything in necessarily, like hard breaking.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm talking about. But I don't have anything that's like that anyway. So it's like, I'm just trying to force myself into like, here's categories I know I like, and once I've like worn them and been like, oh yeah, they fit well, I'll go back to them a few times.
Sure.
That's the commitment I have.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's where I'm at. So I agree with you. I don't really want to buy that much stuff. I'd like to buy like maybe like a couple things, but like I have a couple things in mind, that I'm looking for.
Yeah,
like I need
same.
a new black blazer really bad because I wear those constantly. I know the material I want it to be. The one that I have is an old like La Mer one, and it is. I've just worn it too much, and it's like, I don't want to say it's beat up, but that's not a thing you necessarily want to be beat up, really. And if it was, I would need it to be a different fabric if I was going to lean into that. But I also think that maybe that's like the new move for me. Buy something a little less expensive that's an experimental, like, will I start wearing this really?
Yeah.
And if I do, then go, okay, I love that. Now let's find like the nice one so we have that in the closet.
Yeah.
So I'd like to find something like that. That would be great. Outside of that, like, I need like a couple more tops because I did decrease the amount of like mid jackets by a tremendous amount.
Did you get rid of it? You still got, and are you bringing that Orly jacket we got that you bought right before we left?
Mac jacket.
Yeah,
it's like a khaki. Yeah, I love that piece.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear that. Plus, it's like I don't know how weather resistant it is, but it's technically supposed to be. But I think it's made of something that's not. Like
I've got nothing like that.
So I'll wear that one a lot. I like that piece.
Dope.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
it'll change.
Yeah,
but I'm not really looking to buy a bunch of clothes while I'm there.
I want a pair of black pants because I've sold all my black.
What do you mean
fatigues.
black pants? Do you
remember those Nanamika wide chinos?
Yeah,
they got a little tight on the waist. I'm more or less looking to replace those. A black trouser,
like a
pleated,
chino?
not sure. Yeah.
Just that's very findable there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it's from Nanamika again, which I'm
the ones I have are Alpha Dry Nanamikas.
Yeah. A little light for winter though, huh?
I guess.
I
don't think about.
I'm gonna look when I go.
But yeah.
But I'd like to go back to the Nanamika store. I'd like to show Mishan that Visvim store.
And in fact, if they have it, I would buy the Alpha Dry top to that.
Hell yeah.
Club jacket, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I want it to be more special than that.
We'll bop back down there because you didn't get to see all that area. It's really nice. You didn't get to see it in full.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So we'll bop back down there. That's relatively close. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there. Yeah.
I'm excited this time because I think that my fear of Japan right now is just because I got so sick last time. I mean, just absolutely the most sick I've ever been. So it's like, it's a little like, when I was a kid, I ate like a gummy Lifesaver and it made me throw up. And then I was like, never again. A gummy again. Yeah. And then I didn't, for years and years and years and years. And it's a little of that for me right now, but it'll be fun because, they'll both be excited, especially half the fun of having a kid is getting to like do things, like watching them experience things. Cause you're like, I'm jaded. You know what I mean? And she's not.
Yeah.
So it's way more fun.
Most experiences, even if they are new, aren't very new to us. We've seen it, we can comprehend it, and we have been twice prior. Yeah. It'll be fun to experience Gia experiencing it for the first time.
I think we'll also be a little bit more open to doing different things if the girls drive the boat, because I think you and I are naturally
princesses, baby.
Do a couple things and then be done.
Again, I've got really nothing I want to do outside of conveyor belt sushi and a bowl of ramen. Anything else is a treat. Literally anything else is a treat. So I don't give a shit, man.
We want to go to the hardcore store, and we want to go. Yeah. And I want to go back to Walt's, because that's my favorite retail experience I've ever had.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm excited to dick around. It'll be fun, like you said, to have the girls with us and let them drive the boat, because
we don't care. I think is the other part.
And in a way where we are communicating, we understand how fortunate we are to go to Japan for work. But I also am fine to just whatever happens.
Well, my version of things would just, if I was there alone, it would be first of all, I think if I was there alone, I would stay way outside of Tokyo. And you know how we do a recommend sometimes? Maybe you'll want to check this out too. Let me see if I know what it's called, because it's going to be important that you know what it's called. Hold on. It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's great. Hold on. Ambient exploration. So remember I said it would be cool to make ambient videos, So this isn't exactly that, but it's kind of that. This guy basically, I don't know if he's from Japan or if he just travels to Japan a lot. 90% of them are in Kyoto or close to it.
Sure.
And he'll just go to any part of the town, and I think he starts at 4:30 in the morning and just starts walking. And he just walks around, and it's really high quality video. I think he's got a chest piece or a head situation going. And somehow he's able to make it so you hear all the nature sounds and everything that's going on, but you don't hear him walking, which I don't know how he does. I'm very impressed by this.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to watch. I watched 2 hours of one, raw dogged it. Just
sat and
sitting and watching it. And Abby goes, "Are you asleep?" And I was like, "No, I'm just watching it." And she's like, "You've been watching it for it's like a full movie." Yeah. And I'm like, "Well, it's interesting." You know what I mean? Yeah. So that would be my move now. Go stay in one of those places, just sort of mill around.
Yeah.
For hours at a time. Yeah. No plan.
You know what? We know what we got to do, Brondo. And listen, we're going to do things. You, Abby, and Gio will do things. Me and Michelle will do things. We'll do things as a group. Maybe the girls go do things and you and I can go do things. You know what I would like to do, you and I, is let's go find a bar somewhere we can sit near the sidewalk, and let's just have a couple beers and just watch people.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, when we finish this, I got to show you this this beer that I want to have at this specific place. They take this is going around Instagram, so maybe people have seen this. It says, dude, he takes it's like a Pilsner beer, you know what I mean? So it's our straight up situation. No fucking around. Well, you kind of fucking
I love IPAs and shit. I'm not much of a porter or stout guy all that much. But to be honest with you,
to be clear, if you go to a place and they have some special thing, I'll do any of that stuff. Totally. One. Yeah, but never more than one.
And and also I am in a beer era. I've been slightly influenced by Spaceman. Every time we get together, he has quote unquote 1 million beers. But the thing is, it ends at 2 or 3 max for me over an hour's span. I do like beer, but certainly not enough to get drunk because it's too much for my low body. But I am very keen to try this beer. Tell me about it.
I don't know what it's called. I'm looking right now to see if I can find it. It's got to be somewhere. I'll be able to figure this out from here.
Cool.
But this place, they triple chill the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, they put it in all these two, this, it goes into this ice submersion, then it goes into this water submersion, then it gets cleaned again, and then they put the beer in, and then they put it into a submerged thing.
Yeah.
And then they take it back out, and it's just supposed to be as cold as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And it's all of the glass is very clear, the beer is very clear, and I'm aesthetically, this is that's going to, it's when you have certain types of water and you're this is the most quenching thing you could have.
Yeah.
Or basically when you have a Gatorade.
Yeah, totally.
When it's really cold and it almost hurts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. So I want to figure out where this place is.
Love it.
And I want to go there.
Luckily, bro, most things that people recommend to us are in Shibuya.
Oh yeah.
And that's just where we're going to be. So stoked for that. Would love to have that beer. I also want some katsu curry or something. Coop sent us some shit. possibly do like a little tea tasting thing. So we'll have to figure out.
This is one of those things where like I always appreciate everyone that sends us stuff, but like if I did everything that everybody sent me, I would literally never be able to sleep while I was there because it's like people send so much stuff to do.
Yeah,
and I can't mentally take that on.
Nope.
I'm trying to be focused and still look for this thing while I'm talking to you.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And Abby has a list of stuff. So again, the girls are going to drive the boat. Abby and Michelle can talk and coordinate and figure out what, we can tier it out. I'm just along for the ride. I'm going to be wearing my Boro jacket.
Just sweating.
Here, we're going to that. I think I wasn't sure, but I want to get your opinion on it because I've been spinning on it. We're going to that dinner at Capitol, right? Is it like wearing the band T-shirt to the...
I don't know. I know what you're asking.
I'm going to wear the Boro, I think.
Yeah,
I think
it's probably like nice,
like flattering.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would it not be? And if they're like, that's dorky, I'm like, fuck off then. I mean, I don't care.
Rather than wear another brand from someone else that's also in Japan, because it's pretty much all the shit I have. So, dope, dude. Well, moving on from Japan, unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
No, I'm stuck on trying to find this thing. I'm gonna have to do it later.
Yeah. All good. We'll find it.
Yeah.
But for real, let's make sure that we carve out some time. If it's something that, but Gia won't be able to hang out at the bar, so maybe the girls go have a little thing they do. You and I can go sit at a bar and have a couple beers. I just want to watch people.
Gia also goes to bed at like 9, dude. So
True.
That's like late. I mean, who knows with what's the time change, but.
Yeah, I got no clue.
We'll find it. It's not a problem.
But what'd you do this weekend?
This weekend we
had Grimichi event Friday.
That's right. So
yes,
Grimichi
let's
event
talk about that.
Friday. That was fun.
That was dope, dude.
Yeah.
Yasuko said she was very surprised by how dope Boulder was.
We got it in writing. We're better than New York.
Yeah, hell yeah. Talk about mid.
Suck
New York's
on
mid.
That, New York. Yeah. Finally get what's coming to you.
Yeah.
So, it was fun. I mean, it was a really great turnout. Music was good. Food was excellent Go ahead.
Hell yeah. From shout out Dry Storage. Shout out my baby Ryan over at Dry Storage. I'd also like to say, for everybody that had onigiri in that first half of onigiri being available, of like 50 pounds of rice was used, me, Ryan, Coop hustled that shit, dude. I
also want to make one thing very clear. I didn't have a single bite of fucking anything.
You didn't?
Nope.
Buddy, I'm not going to lie.
Because it was all eaten, number one.
Yeah. I listen, this party is for the public, but also we work hard. I was not going to have some of that pizza, and not because it had the caviar on it. It was like the pizza dough with creme fraiche, basically scalloped potatoes and cheese, and then a dollop of caviar. Bro, it was so unbelievably good. But honestly, everything else was good. I didn't get to have any of it.
Here's what I'm doing next time.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it before someone gets it. I don't care if there's a piece missing.
No, dude, that's...
Because otherwise I never get any.
Yeah.
Because I get roped into a million conversations, which is great, but I never get a chance to look or eat.
Chris said the same thing, and I said, listen, man, it's for the public, but we work hard. I'm eating some of that food. And I'm not bashful.
First of all, your ass posts up by the food the whole time.
Yeah. Well, no. Over by those tables, no, I made the food, bro.
We both know why you did that. It's so you don't have to talk to people and so you can eat the food.
Yeah.
Fooled me.
Yeah. Let me tell you about these onigiris we made real quick. We did 3 of them. One was...
Let's just make one thing clear. Ryan
did all of it, but we assembled.
You keep saying we, like when you talk about football and you take credit for the whole team. Yeah, my team is doing... It's like your team.
First off, own any of those fucking guys. Seriously... We fucked up. We'll breeze by this because I know you don't like football talk, but Abby is... Listen, she's California and the rest of us are Indiana. That's how I said it in the Discord. The amount of ass whooping that Abby has been dealing... Her bench would beat most of our teams as well. I don't know how we let it happen, and maybe it's because she doesn't participate in the chat as much. She has been lately, but I think we all just kind of just like we're all chatting,
because she's a girl,
and she's just like, no, she doesn't participate. It has nothing to do with her being a girl.
Well, she's participating plenty. She's on
just
the app.
She's silent.
Yeah,
and bro, she is whipping our asses. It is insane how much better her team is than anybody else. You don't want
to play Abby for a couple reasons than anything. Number one, Abby's lucky with stuff like this. Number two, she is smart.
Yeah.
Especially when she's applying herself to something specific that she cares about.
Yeah.
And 3, she doesn't care. So all you guys care too much. She wouldn't care. She'd be happy, just as happy if she was losing,
just happy
as
to play.
If she's winning. So
I'm fucking
on
livid.
all those fronts. You're screwed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Just absolutely screwed. So Abby's whooping our ass. On the subject of luck, real quick, and then we can come back to. I want to talk about the onigiri still. Did I ever tell you about the kid who found God from smoking some weed in college one time?
No.
There's this kid we knew.
I don't know at this point. Maybe.
There's this kid we knew who the luck got me thinking of it. He would win every raffle he entered. He would be getting free skateboard parts or this, that, and the other. And I think it's because nobody actually enters those, and he entered all of them. He was getting packages monthly from entering free skate wheels for putting your name in the comments or something. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other. But I won't say his name. There's no chance that he's ever heard of this podcast or thought of me since college. One day he became like really, really religious, and he wasn't prior. Wasn't raised religious or anything, to my knowledge. And we asked his buddies that he used to kick it with that were like the skate crew, and like, what happened? Like, kind of a 180 out of nowhere, right? Like really like jarring. And they were like, no, dude, we just had some really good weed. He had claimed that he smoked some weed and that the devil was holding him down in the sofa and he wasn't able to get up. He just had smoked some ganj. You know what I mean? it just rewired him. So anyway, on the subject of luck, I think of that kid. He feels like the luckiest person that I knew, just because nobody wins raffles. You know what I mean?
Have you ever won anything?
Never.
I don't think I have either.
Not from luck. From effort, sure. Never from luck.
Yeah, like it's never like I've never entered a contest and won or a raffle or whatever. I don't know why we're talking about raffles so much.
But anyway, so that's that. Abby's whooping our ass in fantasy football. The onigiris. I just want to say the three flavors of onigiri. There was a tuna one that had the little furikake topping. There was a mushroom one. Didn't eat that. I don't like mushrooms. The best one is the egg salad one that had some creme fraiche on top and a little dollop of salmon roe. Shout out Dry Storage. If you're in town, you got to swing by. You got to go get yourself some good shit. So.
Has Brian been padding your pockets? Because I understand. No, I understand
it's a bit at this point.
I understand we put on for them, but my God, you're all but wearing a t-shirt.
I just really like Rye. He's my boy, and I love him.
Yeah, of course.
But no, at this point, I'm also leaning into the bit because he's even said, he's like, yeah, man, that second time wasn't even. Even on the topic. You just kind of shouted it out.
Shout out Dry Store.
But no, Rye's not patting my pockets. He's just my boy. So that's about it. But Grimici event was a success.
Yeah, the food was good, music was good, people were good.
Yeah, it was all good. I think we sold a lot of shit.
We're getting to the point where when people show up to these parties, I don't know who most of the people are.
It's really wild, and you know why it is because we're not over to the store as much. Hardly ever.
Yeah, but we're still doing the pod, so it's a bunch of people being like, from the pod, Brondo. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. I'm glad that's caught on.
People don't. You get it more than I do, and I think it's because I hide away maybe
you're
more.
Sitting in the corner with your hat like this.
My hat fucking low.
Yeah.
But chatted up a bunch of people. It was awesome. It was a fun little time. Did you get into anything else this weekend?
No, I took it easy because I do. What's going on? So
yeah,
I didn't really do that much. We all took it like we have not had like a single weekend where it wasn't something. So other than like running some errands and shit and cooked some food so that we didn't have to do it during the week.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It was very, very chill.
Yeah, honestly, same. I don't think there's anything to report from this last weekend. I didn't leave the house Saturday. I woke up Sunday, ran to Whole Foods real quick so I could be back to watch football. And other than that. That was it. Hey, CU really put the hurt on those University of Central Florida fools. I woke up early Saturday morning and watched College Game Day. This means nothing to you, but I'm just going to talk about it because we're here in Boulder, and I'm a CU fan.
You got 5 more minutes before I just stop recording.
College Game Day, and man, you know what? There's something about Florida that I just don't like, coupled with like the way these students were acting. It's like they hold a pregame show and they bring in DJ Khaled and Fat Joe yet again to like perform to these kids at like who are drunk at 9 a.m. You know what I mean?
Why those two? Fat Joe, what has he done in the past 20
years?
They're
affordable. You know what I'm saying?
He's around. He'll do an appearance fee. No problem. His appearance fee is maybe like $3,000.
And I think DJ Khaled lives in Florida, so
He'll do anything.
He'll do anything too. We're the best music.
He understands that he's got lucky this far. He can't say no to anything.
Yeah, but like, I'm sure he's rich as shit. You know what I mean? But he's down to take the check. But so they have this thing. It's a pregame show, this, that, and the other. And the signs that these Florida students were holding were so
It's not even
stupid.
funny anymore. The DJ Khaled bit's not even. It was funny for like a minute that he is like an idiot.
You know the
but
funniest
like he's not
thing,
even doing anything funny anymore, and
No.
it's certainly not new.
There's nothing funnier that he can do than the video Coop showed me years ago of him. It was like a long Snapchat story, I believe, and he had taken his jet ski and somehow got too far from shore, and he couldn't kind of figure out how to get back to shore, and he was like actually scared. And it's funny because one, I would be scared if I was in that position, but I'm not stupid enough to go so far from the shore that I'm going to run out of gas or not be able to get back on my fucking jet ski. And Lord knows he ain't swimming back. You know what I mean? So like, it's funny on so many levels because he's him. And everything he does is funny to an extent. And also, like, what are you doing, dude? I grew up a block and a half from Lake Erie for 18 years. And never once did I get myself in a situation where many a time did I want to put my little float raft out into the lake or build something out of wood and see how far I could get. Never did I do that because I'm not stupid. So when people get themselves in these positions, it's goofy.
First of all, the funniest jet ski video that exists is when Kanye and Kim shot off they shot onto land.
Yeah.
You ever seen it before?
No.
He gets like 10 feet in the air. She goes whipping off the thing. You've never seen this before?
No.
Oh, it is.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes up too fast, doesn't stop, hits another jet ski. That launches him up into the air. She goes flying over the top. I think he goes flying too.
Hey. You know the absolute best, since we're on the topic of rapper aquatic videos, we both know what the best
normal
boat
topic
video.
Which one?
Kodak Black.
Oh yeah,
He's sitting there. He's lost in thought.
Yeah.
Let me drive the boat.
Yeah. It's the most like thing I've heard that's closest to like something that Gia would say to me regularly. like just the entire behavior of nothing. Stark demand.
Let me drive the boat.
Yeah.
Craziness. So
He's got a lot of him and Lil Uzi really were great at short videos.
the Lil Uzi where he's talking to the kids outside the school bus. I've been
Sure.
out here for like 3 days. When he jumps down the stairs outside of like a GameStop or something, he
That's the
seemingly
best
floats
one.
forever. His
Yeah.
little arms come up in the air like
Yeah.
a cartoon.
That's the best. It literally looks like every time you would jump off stairs in front of your mom after
Yeah.
going somewhere because it's like doing a set on a
Yeah.
skateboard.
Yeah.
Obviously the Kodak Black.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
He's got the
That
ski
nothing-
mask on.
And they're all
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
God, they're
Yeah.
just good rapper video content. We've named most of them that I can think of off the top.
Those are the best
but
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that they're the two best at internet stuff,
yeah.
whether it's on purpose or not. There, Uzi Vert also used to do quite a few Instagram lives that were very funny. I liked that. I also used to like the mundane conversations Lil Baby would have while counting money in his furnitureless house. This is kind of before he got big, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe only like first record. And he would count money and roll weed. And he would just sort of be having these loose conversations with a friend.
Yeah.
And
it would go on live?
I don't know why it was on live. There was nothing in this house, by the way, Chase. It was just like a house with no lights or anything. It's just, ceiling light on, no furniture.
Nice house? Like one of the first ones he bought or something?
I mean, no, just like house.
Yeah.
Just a house.
Yeah.
It's like a regular house.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. I mean, sure, it's probably pricey to be honest with you, especially the way things are now. But not a big mansion or anything.
Yeah.
And he would just count money, and they'd have these like very normal, like, who's picking up so and so tomorrow? Oh, okay. What about for the airport? It would just be like, this would go on forever, and I would watch hours.
Lil Baby is he has an aura of cool that is only matched by like Future, maybe. And even so, it's a different kind of cool.
Yeah.
Lil Baby is like really fucking cool.
Yeah, Future's cooler. He just is. I mean, I think he might be losing it a little bit, but because he's getting older. But
yeah,
he's very cool.
The thing is this new record was kind of a flop. I'm ready to be done
What
with
did he
it,
release? 6 records this year, and one's a flop. No kidding, one's a flop. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like getting to that point with Young Thug, where it's like, yeah, a couple of these are going to be bad if we're doing 50 a day. It was just so many.
But I want Barter 6 Young Thug.
Of course, everybody does.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of done with the new hip hop shit. I don't care, man. I can only care.
Somebody
so much
needs to
about
go in there and mess it up a little bit, do something different, and
Yeah.
no one's really doing anything different right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And it's because
it would look like.
Kanye's an idiot, and so he can't do anything cool production wise anymore because no one cares what he's doing because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And Young Thug's locked up. So what are we supposed to?
And Rich Homie died.
Yeah. So those were the guys that did cool shit, and then everyone would copy it and do. So now we gotta wait for a new one.
Yeah. So
What are you gonna do?
anyway, that's about it from weekend. Nothing too crazy.
I didn't really do anything. I watched that movie Wolves on Apple TV with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Wolves.
No, it's F.
Wolves.
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 Wolf.
Wolves.
New girl.
It was like a movie that it was like it's a fine movie, and then I finished it. I was like,
Is it funny or
kinda? It's like Ocean's 12. More serious than that, but in that category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was both of them made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
To do a movie that like they didn't have to do much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fine because they're superstars, and it's a big budget movie.
Yeah.
And that's it. I forgot it as soon as it was over. I was like, that's fine, and I immediately forgot about it.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what happened. They do with the same shit I knew from the trailer. I know now.
Whatever.
After seeing it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So if you're bored, something to do. But I didn't even watch anything cool. I started a cool movie and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the theater really.
Yeah. Why waste the money, man? You know what I mean?
I don't have to waste the money. I'm past.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
I'm excited. I know we talked about it on the Patreon pod, but I'm excited to watch some movies on the plane. That seems to be. Sometimes they got some new ones. You know what I'm saying?
we already talked about this on the Patreon pod, but I'm so fucking pissed.
Put the list out so we know what to expect. Put the list out. I need to obsess. It's like looking at the menu of the restaurant.
Why doesn't pointsguy.com or whatever stick the list on them? I mean, the list is out there, right? It's,
You would think.
Half the movies are the same, but there was also a couple of them that I'm like, if those are on there, I'd rewatch that movie, but I want to know that it's there. So then I can have a plan.
I think the key is to start a series, because they have TV series that you haven't watched before.
I don't think I like TV anymore.
I did that Kiefer Sutherland rabbit hole. It was very what's the word? Procedural, where it's like the episode starts, it resolves something from a previous episode, minutia, twist. Episode starts, resolves the twist, that kind of thing.
You know what I'm saying? Will only do things now that like middle-aged dads from the Midwest will do. Football, good, clean food. Wings, fucking procedural, like
Bud Light.
Yeah, like 24 or that kind of energy.
Not just because it's Kiefer Sutherland. I think that 24 would pique my interest for sure. You ever watch this show? This is of a bygone era that we've talked about a lot, where you'd go home and you watched what was on TV because that's what it was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Did you ever watch Burn Notice?
No, that was on it was like on after the NBA.
It was like FX or something. Yeah.
Oh, was
or
it?
TNT.
I thought it was like a TNT show.
It's probably TNT. I really liked Burn Notice.
I hated everything that was on TNT after the NBA was over.
Yeah.
So you'd watch an NBA game, and then it would be like, next is going to be Burn Notice, or whatever these things are.
What
the way it looked was always too yellow.
What makes me sick to my stomach is like Big Bang Theory, 70s Show, anything in that realm. It makes me feel like legitimately sick to my stomach.
I think that's because you're a little bit younger, and the closest thing you would have had to sitcoms really would have been like what was on Disney.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that had already started to die off a little bit for adults. So by the time you were an adult and would have watched them, sitcoms weren't really much of a thing. But I sort of grew up with them. Plus, that's like what was on before and after, like late night and stuff. So I watched like Frasier and stuff because I was a weird kid, and that's what my mom liked.
They're still putting that out, huh?
I guess I'm not watching any new version of Frasier. I don't want to watch any reboot anything. I don't want anything to be rebooted.
Here, let me tell you something.
Original IP only.
Let me tell you something about reboots. I've got a little bit of a worry that an Office reboot is cooking up.
I'm not going to watch it.
Here's why. I have data that I've consumed with my own eyes. There is...
I have data.
There's a... Well, it's not, it's not hearsay. There is... I don't know exactly, but there's either like an AT&T commercial or something that's circling around. It was Rainn Wilson and Meredith from The Office.
I saw it, yeah.
And then Kevin and someone else. And I might be getting the pairs mixed up, but it's two separate commercials with two Office characters. Not by accident. You know what I'm saying? So... I'm curious. I will watch it, obviously. I would prefer not, though. If anything, no, don't do it at all. Don't do it at all.
There was only one spinoff that could have happened, and you know what it is.
It's Bob Odenkirk.
Yes.
Yep. And you know what? I would buddy, that we've talked about it. That episode, he is so good. When he says, I'm gonna do Dylan, and he's yelling and the employees are sick of him, it's so fucking good, man.
I love that, that's my speed. It's like why I'm a John Mulaney fan and stuff, because it's so tightly written and fast that you're like, even I think you should leave to a certain point. I'm always like, I'm excited to watch it initially so I can rewatch it, because I'm already know I'm missing too many things.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna laugh at one thing and I'm gonna miss things because of it. Like that's my favorite type of like very tightly written comedy.
I think people underestimate how much we watch. I think you should leave. I've seen the bits many times. In fact, 100%. We started season 4 of Only Murders in the Building, which I personally love. I know you're not a fan as much.
First of all, I watched it when you're just coming to this. That show came out like 5 years ago.
I know, dude. I'm on it now.
And I watched the first season and then it was over. And then I when the second season came, I'm like, I wasn't that into it, and then never picked it back up.
I love it. For me, it's the same. It'd be a rewatchable show because there's so low stakes and it's funny. And there's some
Call
mystery.
me if they kill off Selena Gomez and Martin Short, and I mean not Martin Short,
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin, and if they could somehow get Steve Martin from like 94 or before, I'll take that version. I don't want this version. I don't want Selena Gomez. I really just want
Martin Short is a legend. I finally watched that Bill Hader. Pedro sent that over the Bill Hader dude. It's so.
You watch the full thing, right?
No, I just saw a clip, so I need to watch the whole thing.
Silly, you gotta watch the whole thing.
While we're traveling.
While we're traveling, it's like 8 minutes long at best.
Oh, the whole interview is?
Yeah.
Oh. Put a pin in this real quick. I just want to go back to the I think you should leave thing. We've watched it so many times. We're watching season 4, and it's a passing moment. The fella's in it for, I'm not exaggerating, 3.5, 4 seconds total, right? He's pushing a hot dog cart. It's a scene within a scene. I go, hold on, rewind. You know who that is? Me and Michelle both knew. It's the guy. You know the bit where he's taking the photo, and the guy goes, he puts a feather down his throat and throws up.
Yeah,
not enough fucking time. Give me the fucking. Yeah.
That's a very underrated bit from that season.
So funny.
It's so good.
Do you know the end of it where he goes, you don't even, the little guy,
Give me the shutter shades.
No, the little white guy. He goes, you don't even know any good games. And he says, do you know so-and-so? And he's naming, I would assume, Game Makers or something. That dude is in Only Murders in the Building. He's in it for 3 or 4 seconds, man.
So funny.
And I said, that's who it is. And she knew right away, too. So anyway.
So funny.
So good.
Stop doing that. Yeah.
Fuck, man. All right, buddy. So what else? What do you mean,
what else? We haven't done anything that's on this thing. We have talked about absolutely nothing. We're
about
at time. Now we're going to have to blast through this.
What are we at?
40. We got to stop doing that as a bit. Like, where are we at? We're at 42 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
So, number one, we talked about this on the Patreon. So if you don't do the Patreon and you're doing
hear
this,
it, but we still want your stories.
Next month we're going to do a spooky episode, obviously, because we did it last year. We got to do it this year. We got to keep that going.
Yeah.
We want we want to call it. We want you to call in and tell us a scary story, and then we will listen to that. We're going to have Abby hopefully screen them so that we're hearing them for the first time. We don't want to know who you are. Don't dox yourself unless it's funny. Then dox yourself.
Yeah.
And then
I'm trying to think of who would be funny to dox.
Well, just somebody that people would know or something.
But I want to hear about stories like maybe you were in the woods and saw something weird. Maybe, I told the story where 2 old people showed up to my buddy's mansion house 8 p.m. in the middle of a storm and stood by the front door and knocked and rang the doorbell. Long story short, they were there to pick up an air hockey table from the garage sale earlier that day. We didn't know. Coupled with that, a shutter had broken. He lived on the lake. Yeah. It was a crazy storm. That's what I'm talking about. Like, give me like a spooky, scary story, a mystery, something that is unexplained. That's,
We said it on the other one. We don't necessarily want anything where you're like
talking
an
to your dead grandma or something. No.
Thing where you're talking to your dad that passed away. Like,
God bless.
We're not equipped for that type of thing. No. Too dumb. We're just looking for like crazy stuff that happened at a sleepover or something unusual that there's no proof on. Things like this.
Something moved in your house.
Yeah.
The like. So send those over. It is. Let me pull it up. I have the actual URL right here.
Okay, you get that pulled up. The other thing that we talked about on the Patreon that maybe we should talk about here is kind of the giving some preliminary information regarding engineered garments.
Yep. I have the URL right here.
Hit him with the URL.
Dude, we are... Thank God if you listen to us, dude. It's crazy. URL...
It's ADD Live. That's what it should be called.
The URL for submitting your spooky stories, scary stories, unexplained stories, mysteries, etc. If you have UFO, in fact...
If we get enough of these, I'm doing this... We're going to only do these episodes until we run out of listening to them. Yep.
At least we'll parse them in.
We'll change the podcast. We'll do a whole different podcast.
We're not tied down to anything. It is www.speakpipe.com. Speakpipe, speak, and then pipe as in something you run water through. Speakpipe.com/CSPodTalk. Send those over. Speakpipe.com/CSPodTalk. Drop us some shit. We'd love to work with you. Mm-hmm. Now... Moving on.
Okay, so let me see if I can sort of roll out I think this is, people are going to want this information. Mm-hmm. So, this Friday, if you're listening to this now, this will be tomorrow, because this comes out on Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this comes out on Thursday. So, tomorrow, first teaser. For those of you who've been cooking with us long enough that you're listening to this podcast and you're 45 minutes in, you're not going to see a ton here. This is just the first time we're starting to roll out some information of it.
For the EG Cloud.
Because we've teased some things in Discord. If you're not in Discord, then join Patreon. Don't wait on the waiting list and pop right in there. Yep. And you can see everything we've already teased so far.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can join the waiting list and you can see it in December.
And this teaser is like professionally done by none other than our boy Chirabo, which shout out, he worked for us. We love him. Here is the thing too. I would like to say how I always propose doing teasers, and luckily we didn't do it this way, but my idea of a fun teaser
every time
would be me putting on the whole outfit, right? And opening the garage door, and then I just run by the garage door as fast as I can, and then that'd be the teaser.
Every single time. It's his idea every single time. And what you guys don't see is that at some point, every single time we have a collaboration or anything, any sort of release, he suggests this in a way as if he's just thinking of this idea for the first time.
You know what?
Wait a minute. Actually, that is a pretty good idea. We could. And I was like, I know you could run past the door. We're not doing the door. A couple things, though, that I think we can release now. Sum total, this is a bigger collection. I wouldn't necessarily call it a capsule, but it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So 7 total pieces this time. Do with that information what you will. There will be subsequent teasers that will give a little bit more that'll come in the coming weeks. Mm-hmm. The planned release for this, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, and I don't even understand. Cares, we believe, here's the thing, I'm going to do it this way because I'm not even 100% sure if this is, I believe it's going to be the third weekend, or the third, end of the third week of August. Yeah, third week of August. October. Sorry.
Brother, I looked at the board earlier. I believe, I'm going to say it, so guys don't hold us to this. I believe it's the 13th. Early access will go to Patreon.
Yeah.
So if you are not part of Patreon, we are going to allow it for pre-order. It's pre-order for everybody, just due to the way things are shaking out.
Yeah, that's a good thing to explain.
And then we'll ship it as it comes. If you have an order that is, say you ordered 3 pieces, but one of the pieces hasn't delivered yet, the other two have.
No, back it up. All orders will ship at the same time.
Oh, okay.
All orders are going to ship at the same time. No. It'll all happen at the same time. We're hoping and praying we're only 2 to 4 weeks out from the time pre-order opens till when we're shipping things. That would be the absolute latest. We're kind of hoping that we're
hustling
a little bit earlier.
We just didn't want to have it butt up against holiday. We have another collab we're looking to release.
Yeah,
we were
dealing with some production delays that were completely out of everyone's hands, and it is what it is.
Yep.
So this was the best way to do it. Now, one thing that's an important note. Pre-order does not mean this goes infinitely. There are not infinite numbers.
No.
This is a pre-order. Things are very limited.
It's already been cut. There is no, we're making as many as are pre-ordered. If you're part of Patreon, and there's plenty of you guys in there, if enough of you guys order shit and it sells out sizes, that's what happens.
That is what it is.
We're doing it. That's the point you're in there. I would assume for most of you, I don't think you're there to listen to our podcast, but if you are, God bless you. You're in there to get early access to products so your size doesn't sell out. That is exactly what we're doing. I believe it's the 13th. I will confirm via the pod when the time comes. It's going to go to Patreon first. I believe it's going to go to them for a couple days. Then it's going to go to Discord. And then beyond that, a couple days after that, it'll get released to the public. So I think it's going to be like a Monday, Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday ultimately.
Yeah.
So maybe Abby's going to get mad at us for saying all this, but it's
too late.
So it's too late. So now is your chance to sign up for the Patreon and to get all of that shit. I just put out an announcement this morning with some loose information. I'm giving you more now, and then also just put out the video pod from last week. You get access to that early.
Really, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised if you're listening this far and you're still on the fence about joining Patreon. But if that is the case, this is the fourth quarter is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Early access to Black Friday, early access. There's going to be early access to merch drops. There is another collab still happening. There's one that's going to happen at the beginning of next year.
Yes, sir.
There is early access to sale that will happen at that time. There is
perhaps a warehouse sale too.
Oh, we're going to try to pencil one in before the end of the year. We are absolutely slammed, but that is an intention. And there's also been thinking about like a special holiday release merch thingy that if you're in the Discord, you've probably heard us kind of discussing actually. So there's things left and right at this point. At this time, this is the major time of the year to do it.
So hop over, sign up. If you signed up today, it goes for the month. You'll get what's today? The 2nd. It'll go through November. You'll have to re-sign up for Black Friday, but you'll see the value's there.
Yeah,
we're not
100%. We're not looking to take money from people.
It's literally just
so
to
we can do cool
reward
stuff.
people who are most engaged with us. That's the whole point. So hop over, sign up.
So anyway, I think that covers all the EG stuff, but we're very close to release. So definitely
gassed right up about it, huh?
It's really good.
Yeah, stoked. So
I'm excited.
That's that.
Okay, so let's see. What else do you have up here? Maybe why don't you
Let's
just
do some deliveries?
Go through deliveries, and then we'll cover one of these things you got at the end here.
Soup season. All right,
some deliveries. So many deliveries and so much coming the week that we're gone. Let's try to go through it.
I'm going to talk about what has landed physically in the store, and then what
should probably have online by that point, if not very close. But
so we just picked up Vans Brondo. We put that together pretty late in the season. Yeah. We have a full order coming for spring.
Yeah, this is kind of just we were able to get in on the tail end of some stuff. Yeah. So this is obviously
it's just the more luxe material ones.
LX, maybe DX, Made in Anaheim, that kind of stuff.
Pig suede kind of shit. Yeah, yeah. So those are dope. I want to say we are not carrying Vans because Noah Johnson said they're back in, as all of you are.
You can roll back 2 years and hear us hawking the same shit. So we just have it now, so that when we say it, you don't have to go to another place.
Yeah. So we got the Vans, and also VF is based out of here in Denver, so why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got the Vans. In terms of other things that have landed, Taiga Takahashi came yesterday. It is 5 or 6 pieces.
Oh my god, it's so good though.
We might have 1 or 2 pieces remaining, but I think 1 or 2 pieces are remaining. They're still being dyed. They're adjusting some of the dye. Long story short, that's on the way. It will be here soon. But we're just about done with the season.
Yeah, but there's a beautiful leather jacket. There's a beautiful Type 1 or Type 2, whatever good, and there's some cool sweatshirts. This is a really cool delivery.
Yep. Vans Taiga Takahashi. Ordinary Fits came last week. What was it? Thursday, Friday. One of the two.
What are you talking about?
Ordinary Fits. That was Monday.
Yeah,
that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Damn. Ordinary Fits is here. Most of it. Yet again, there's one or 2 pieces
I feel like I've barely
remaining.
even had time to digest it. But I was just talking to Chris over at the store, and I was looking through what they had on the floor, and I was like, "This shit is so good,
so sick. Those gray pants are sick."
I know. I don't want to buy anything before I leave, but there's things on that rack that I definitely want.
Yeah.
So buy it before I do. That'll help me out too.
Yep.
But it is really good shit. I mean, the pants are so good. The sweatshirts are so good.
Yep.
Blazers were sick. I mean, it's a really good collection. We're super excited about it.
So if you're a fan of, Orslo, Visvim, and the like.
And if you're for example, if you're an Orslo guy, but you're like, man, I just need a pair that's wider or a little bit baggier than 105s or something like that.
Great.
They got you. This is what this is. It's it's kind of stuff that Orslo does, just baggier.
Yep.
It's kind of silhouette
wise. We were drawn to it. One, how they shoot. They shot it unisex. They shot it very casual. The models weren't wearing shoes and some things, as if they were lounging around the crib. Really, really, really awesome. Ordinary Fits has landed. So go ahead and pop over. That is online. I'd assume it's online at this point. Yeah, I think so. I'll check. If not, it'll be on soon.
It's happening quick. Yeah.
Other things that are physically here. Samuel Zelig. This is the penultimate shipment. There will be one more shipment to wrap up the season, I believe, or
we might be
this
done.
might be everything. I don't actually, as I said, that I don't remember. Anyway, it's 5 or 6 SKUs. Pop over, show some love there. I think we said it previously. We got Clark's. The Clark shipment has landed. I know that came Friday because I got it unpacked and put away.
Yeah, same deal as like the Vans. This is kind of the really special run stuff that they do for smaller retailers.
Yeah, we got Gore-Tex Wallabies. Yeah. We got other options in Wallabies, like a French blue suede. There's like a cheetah print
I love the
one.
Wallaby that has, I don't even think it's a Wallaby. I think it's something different
the
technically.
Brown one.
That's lower with the crepe sole.
Yeah.
Love the silhouette.
It's almost like a paraboot silhouette almost.
Yeah,
it's a little lower, the lower profile
That's
of the
exactly
crepe sole, but very similar.
Looks like a paraboot.
Those are dope. And I also put on those Desert Trek lows, the black ones for a customer.
Oh,
dude, they're sick.
Sick. The black on black.
Yeah.
I want those.
They're really good. I put them on. They're really comfortable.
Yeah.
Sole is nice and substantial. And yeah, just like a low. Like nothing, not too much shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not super
really
heavy.
minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of like a continuation of Chase and I trying to make sure that like the stuff that we actually wear and talk about, especially footwear wise, we have available in some really cool, special way at the store.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And we love Clark's. I wear my Wallabies all the time. It was the first thing I put in the suitcase for Japan. So
I've never not had like a Wallaby in the rotation.
You'd think, bro. Yeah, they're gas.
Or a track or something.
And I think some people view them as like divisive. I view them as one of the most inoffensive options you can have in the closet.
The easiest shoe you can wear. It's comfortable. It's
put
like,
it on, dude. Yeah.
Like when you can't wear the Birkenstocks anymore because it got too cold, you just move to those because it's the closest thing.
Yes, sir. Moving on, we have Howlin was due to deliver today. It might have delivered while we're here. I didn't hear the garage door open, but it might deliver. We got just the hitters. It's a bunch of wool sweaters, beanies, etc.
All good colors.
You've been asking. Yeah. It's one of the few brands that delivers, I think, appropriately in the season. You know what I mean? It is starting to cool down, and so it does make sense now to have wool sweaters and shit. So we're getting those. That is going to be live here soon. It's written, and we'll get that published while we're out of town, most likely. Other things. I'm in import capital today. We got a handful of boxes, decent amount. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the first shipment from when we wrote it in Tokyo when you were
hallucinating,
miserably ill. Yes. I haven't gotten a deep look at the thing of what it is yet. I'm going to dig into it here in a little bit of what it actually is.
In there, though, yeah.
In this, things that I'm personally looking out for that I'm not going to cop, but I think are like stellar. There's a Boro long coat. I believe they call it the Cavalier coat. We got that coming in Boro. A couple other options. The scarves, the compressed wool scarves were gas. So
I want that blanket.
Again, I'm not even sure what's in this shipment. Some of this stuff might be in it. Really dope. That's going to be on the way. I'm going to import it today.
Cool ass like chains, like a chain with a big clip. Oh, they're cool. They're on there.
Yeah. Cool.
There's cool stuff in there.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. That's on the way. And then also Orslo just hit us and said the remainder of season.
It's all the rest of our stuff for this season. And I'm trying to get some restocks because I know people keep banging my line about 101s and stuff like that. So we're going to try to do some of that kind of thing. French pants, all that shit. But this is the rest of the season. It's really good stuff. It's a lot of like good outerwear, still some restock some pants and some new stuff, like things like that. But it's mostly seasonal. So new things. There's some really, really good pieces.
Really, really dope shit. Like you said, the outerwear, we got like nylon down vests, down jackets. We've got wide fit French work pants, which is a new offering from them. And then a couple other things that I'm not going to be able to remember right off the top, but it's not cool. A small
No, it's a lot.
There's a lot of shit coming. So you can expect that page to grow even more so. Beyond that, Brondo, last thing I forgot to mention. Yesterday we got a shipment, the remainder of the shipment from Binu Binu.
I've been excited to bring them in forever. I forget where I first saw it or experienced it, but it's like a Korean soap and incense.
Yeah.
Like scent house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's so good.
Dude.
Like the scents are incredible.
Listen, we talk about how much packaging influences us. These little
or
soaps.
Just packaging.
Soaps. Think little soaps this big, right?
Let's also be clear. They're very beautiful smelling, but also like incredibly natural.
Yes.
They developed, and like the little bars last for eons. So he's saying small, but these are like it's like really good shit.
Yeah. I was just communicating. It ain't like a honker. You know what I mean? It's tasteful.
Sure. I see what you're saying.
Multiple different scents in the soaps. We've got incense in
marble
6 different
soap
offerings.
dishes. We got incense, but we also have incense. They have Korean roof tiles, different variations of Korean roof tiles that you can use as your incense holder, little florets to hold the incense. I love those soap dishes. That's my main thing. I need a new one anyway, and it's like perfect.
Yep, I want one of those as well. And as I've said, I'm now an incense guy. It's I really love it. It brings me a lot of joy, and I've been burning through that Essence of Plum one we got from Beams Japan. So obviously, I'm keen to pick some up while we're out of town. But when we get back, I'm going to pick some up regardless. I'd like to say what's nice is similar to like the CDG perfume. We have the sampler, and with 1969, we have the sampler coming. It's there's a sampler kit of the incense, so it's all 6 scents that we offer, or that are offered. 10 sticks of each, I believe, is the way it's broken down. So if you can't decide, just get that. Try it all. Really, really sick. Again, you're gonna get the packaging, and it's like I immediately was like, what else can I do with this when it's gone? Oh, the candles. The
candles are so good. That Korean sauna, Korean sauna or whatever it is.
Korean sauna kiln or something.
Yeah, it's really like it's like in a little stainless steel thing. Yeah. They clip the wick. Everything's like beautifully done.
It's so sick. I can't express
it's also like a good medium one, because you think about like Comme des Garçons being like pretty challenging scents. I think that's what makes them so great.
Yeah.
But they're definitely like a little bit more challenging. These are like somewhere in between, where it's like stuff you probably haven't smelled before, but at the same time it's like really like beautiful scent without also, I think sometimes when you think that, then I go way too perfumey. It's not too perfumey. No. It's like sitting right in this nice middle ground of scent stuff that I think everyone would get on with.
I'm really keen to pick up I know you guys had some opinions. You like the ink one, and there was another one that you guys really liked, but I personally like the green tea one.
I like it too. Yeah,
you know when you pop open a tin of matcha, how it has that smell, and it can almost be like a little much at first. It's basically that, but interpolated over to incense in a very like tasteful level.
It's kind of a sweet smelling version of
that. Yeah, dude, so stoked.
Really good.
Again, I can't express enough. I'm not bullshitting here, just trying to sell shit. I'm really legitimately stoked. It's beautiful, and I was really excited about it. So
yeah, we got a couple new Visvim pieces in now.
Oh yeah,
a couple new shoes on the way. Merch is in play right now. We're hoping before the end of the month. Stuff is really good. The fit's much better. The fabrics are great. It's a little bit more pricey, but like not expensive. And for the quality, like I don't want to say unmatched, but for me,
pretty fucking close. Yeah.
Things that you missed that are on the way. Hender Scheme, full delivery. Some restocks on very popular shoes. Also a bunch of the new home goods and stuff like that. Our collection of Story should be on the way soon. It's not a huge collection or anything, but stuff's really cool in there. Brand Easy Mock will be delivering. They've got some like really cool like inline shoes that like all handmade, hand sewn, the stuff Chase and I used to work in, and it's like a more relaxed version of that thing, like a much less stuffy, It's not like those.
I'm excited to style it and give it a perspective that maybe you haven't seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're trying to mix it up because we love that shit, and I love those shoes, and I kind of miss them, and I just feel like, like I said, that world can be so stuffy, so we're going to try to unstuff it, and I think it's the right brand to do it with. Beams Japan. So anyone that, if you follow us and you see that keychains with all the food and stuff are always selling out, we got a gang of them coming.
Yep.
So you'll be fully covered there.
Perfect for holiday and shit.
Granted, I say that, you'll be good, but then we got in a couple of them early and they are already sold out. So what are you going to do? I think we're looking good here. A bunch of new Solomons on the way.
Oh my God. Forgot about that. So many.
That.
And Merrell.
Merrell's already online. That's good to go. I don't know if we've called that one out before. Their stuff looks great. The Solomon, what's it called? The Snow Plow or Snow? What's it called?
Snow Mock. Snow Mock Mid.
Yeah, dude, it is.
Snow Clog.
There's a clog version of it, and it has like this kind of like almost like a rip sole, but like nastier. Yeah. And but the top is so like elegant and sleek, and I'm like, man, that's my kind of shit. It kind of looks like old Prada. I think I need a pair so that when I inevitably can't do the wet on my feet.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to mix too. Big CDG Parfum restock. Most stuff is already there, but just, we were low. A little bit of Libero on the way too.
Yeah.
Good to see some new stuff from our buddy. So I'm excited.
Up north, you know what I mean?
So some stuff there. I'm sure I'm like missing things, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So stick with us. Cool things going.
Yeah.
Let's, I don't think we're going to get to the one thing you've got here, but let's I think it's going to be hard to answer that one. Unless
Yeah,
you
no,
do
I don't.
Let's hold it. I like the question. Let's
Yeah.
maybe leave it up there. We'll give you one fun one. So you got soup season written down. I've heard you're a soup man now.
I'm a soup man now. I'm really.
Welcome to my world, buddy. I've always said the ultimate food you can eat. It doesn't need to just be a lunch thing. Soup and a salad.
I agree.
There's literally
dude.
nothing better.
Soup, salad, breadstick, baby.
You're full up, but you don't feel like garbage.
Yeah.
You get a lot of good stuff in there. Mm-hmm. I love soup.
Soup's
Soup's
about as
maybe
biblical
my
as
favorite
it
food.
comes, right? You know, we've been eating soup forever. What I wanted to say was I think I'm going to do this, and if you're listening to this and I haven't done it, please just remind me. I'll do it. I want to start a thread in Discord where it's strictly soup recipes. We can maybe a recipe thread in general, but I'll have a more specific one.
So you might want to broaden a little.
I'll make. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna do the soup recipe, but I want it specifically to be, or a recipe thread, but I want it specifically to be soup. So excited for that. Do you have any soups that you're excited to be eating this season? Because I personally have a handful that we've been working through we've been spinning on through summer, but there's ones that are more specifically winter appropriate, and I'm keen for those. In particular, we have my grandma's potato soup recipe. I'm trying to do the knockoff zuppa toscana from the famed Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm. Habitas is kind of like a nice, like kind of healthy take on that. That's not. I don't want to say it's healthy, but there's a little bit more fiber in it than what they're doing. But yeah, and I'm trying to think of my all-time favorite is just the easiest thing, just roasts the tomatoes and the fucking, onion and all that shit in the oven, pop it in the, whatever that thing is, the
Blender.
Yeah, Vitamix is what I was trying to think. The word I was trying to think of. I feel like it's deserved the right to take over Blender, like Kleenex. Yeah. You stick it in there.
Boom,
done. You're good to go.
You know who does a really good tomato soup?
So easy.
One, the kitchen down the street.
Yeah.
The restaurant, really good tomato soup. There's
what I'm telling you, if you do it the way I just told you with the red pepper and the onion and that thing,
yeah.
it's like the dumb Instagram thing at this point. But that's a classic, dude. You can't go wrong.
Are you by chance referencing the Boz recipe?
No.
Okay, the Boz recipe is good because she puts goat cheese and I think a dollop of pesto.
Yeah, I'm good with all that. I mean, you can that's the thing is you just have it and then you doctor it up however you want to. You put I like a little toasted pine nut in there, things like that. But it's easy.
Yeah,
I think that. I'm trying to think if there's any specific. I like a split pea. If you get a good one.
I've never had that.
You've never had it?
I've never had a split pea.
You should
soup.
look it up because I think that probably what you're thinking of is split pea. If you knowing that we grew up in a similar location is a little different than the traditional recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. You do it you have to you got to sprout the beans. You got to render the fat out of the guanciale or whatever. Yeah, bacon or whatever it is that you want to use. And you there's a lot of ways to really elevate it in a cool way.
Well, I would love to try that.
I like any sort of basically any French leek a leeks thing.
Potato leek soup is stellar.
Yeah, any sort of traditional French recipe sort of soup situation.
Yeah.
I'm into.
Allison Roman has it's like a ground pork soup that she uses.
I think I've made that before. Yeah.
That is one that we've been doing weekly. Absolutely love it. And then you know what I hate? I just want to be a hater for a second. What's the minestrone? If I would never even want to see it on a menu, let alone be served it. I think minestrone is the same as eating a mouthful of beets, dude.
I feel like that's insane. It basically it's like fucking Italian chili. And you love that shit. I feel like you've had bad versions.
Yeah, I think I have.
And also, if you like zuppa toscana, but you don't like minestrone, it's the same thing.
Well, we can agree to disagree there. One's red and one isn't.
What do you fucking barely? So you're talking about like a slight flavor of basic. So you don't like tomato sauce?
I love tomato sauce.
Okay, so you're full of shit then. That's what I'm saying. It's the same stuff, just switched out. Thing. I feel like you just had bad versions, and then you've decided you don't like it, and because you've made too many sweeping declarations, now you got to stick to it.
It might be
the wrong way to think.
It might be the beans.
You're making the soup yourself. Don't put the beans in.
I'm not gonna
do whatever you want. But that's a classic soup that anyone would like.
You know what? What else I want, Brando?
Like an Italian wedding.
I was just gonna say, buddy.
Yeah,
man, the little meatballs, the little pearled couscous. Mm-hmm. Come on, you guys probably got a good Italian wedding soup recipe, huh?
Oh, we haven't made it in a long time, but yeah,
I would love some of that shit. That's about it for soup talk. But please send me recipes. Listen, what I want is I want your grandparents' recipes of soups.
I was going to say, I think that like I said, I know the traditional French ones because when we were learning to cook, we did a lot of that kind of stuff. I know the Italian ones because it's what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't like anything like broccoli cheese. I mean, I don't like it. I think it's good. It's just, it's so fucking heavy. I don't need it, you know?
It's like even when you get it from Panera or something. Listen, I'm not a guy to
like
poo-poo too much volume of soup. I want half of it.
It's a bit much.
It's a lot.
Just, it's an artery clogger.
Yeah. French onion.
Yeah, that's great. That's another one where it's like, I can only do that. I like to cook it because it's fun.
Yeah.
Once a year. I don't need a lot.
You guys have the little crocs you put them in, you know?
There's nothing we don't have, pal.
Yeah,
trust me. Baby. Every time I go put my fucking dishes away after they go through the dishwasher, shit falling left and right because the cupboards are so
On
full.
that note,
every day I beg for there to be less stuff in there.
On that note, we're gonna put a cap in Soup Talk. For real, hit me up. I'm not joking. If you're not in the Discord, chase at Shop Canoe Club. I'm not being funny here. Send me your recipes for soups.
What I think I don't know is, and I think you're gonna agree here, is not that I've never had like more like Asian influenced soups, but I don't know them well, if that makes sense. Like I don't know there's such a vast array, like that is Soup Central, and I feel like I only know like the baseline.
See, like,
you know what I mean, the most normal ones you might know.
Chris is Vietnamese. He gave me his brother's Vietnamese soup pho recipe.
Okay.
The thing is, it's like, it serves like 28 servings or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to pare it down in a way that I think does it justice. We've done it a handful of times. I need it to be more like for 5 to 6 servings. It's me and my partner Shan. That's what we're working with. So
just make it and then freeze half of it.
Yeah, but buddy, that's still a lot. It's a lot to work through. We don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, when we did it, buddy, it was so much soup. It was so much liquid that I didn't know what to do with it.
I feel like you just need to like pick one that you like. You know what I mean? And then obviously just pare it back a little bit. I mean, just half the recipe. But then like just go to a kitchen surplus and get yourself some quarts. You know what I mean? And just put them in the freezer.
We save them. But in terms of other Asian soups that I'd like to try, Korean oxtail soup. It's like a clear broth with like, you know, the short rib or whatever is in it, and scallion usually, or green onion topped on. That just, for me, it looks really good. If you have a kimchi jjigae, like a kimchi stew with pork belly in it, I want that recipe. Honestly, send me any recipe you have.
Some Indian soups that we've never had.
I've never had an Indian soup. I would kill to have.
I don't think I've ever had one either. I mean, it's usually like, you know, it ends up being almost more like a curry situation.
Yeah,
but I'm very open to that.
Yeah, for real. Again, I'm not being funny. Please email me your soup recipes.
I like to do, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because of the house stench, is the soups that take and I think a lot of Asian soups would kind of qualify here. It's like you have to really develop the flavor, and it takes a long
let it cook for
time.
A minute.
You know what I mean? Because you got to cook down, and cook down, and then cook down, and then cook down, and then it's a lot of. It's kind of like when you make broth and you really got to keep going, you know what I mean? Longer than you think to get really good flavor.
Yeah.
I like doing it, but it can be such a chore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything we're talking about is like quick.
But here's the thing, pal.
Here's the thing. We just like soups. You can send us anything you want.
And
what I want is some stuff that you think I might not have heard of before, because I need to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, please send it over. I'm open to just about whatever. We've been spending on the same 3 or 4 soups for the last couple of years. I really am looking to broaden my horizons.
I think pozole is like a.
I've had it one time. And it was stellar.
Ever?
A green pozole, yeah.
Yeah, I like both, green and red. But.
Well, we're in and nothing's better than like.
Is it pozole or pozole?
I say pozole.
I've heard it both ways, and now I don't know.
Pozole.
It doesn't.
Pozole's from Ohio. Maybe. Anyway,
they know what we're talking about.
I would love it.
Yeah. I've never made it though before. I've had it a lot of places.
Yeah,
yeah. You still get it at some of the carts and shit.
And we can get it out here. You know, we can get some green chili and work it in, or you know what I mean. Like I like it with chunks of pork. You know, like pork that has been cooked in it or braised or however.
Assuming that's
braised
like
pork.
we don't need to do this forever. But
anyway, I have really good news that you were not super happy about. But the Uni Pizza Oven came in. I'm excited to have some get-togethers and make some pizza.
Nice.
That's about it.
What is your contribution? The toppings or the dough, or what are you doing?
I'm not gonna lie. I really like the few times I've made dough or made bread product.
We need Big Rye to break us off some starter.
We need some starter.
Why are you getting mad at him? He didn't. I just thought of this.
You know what? Speaking
Shout
of
out
which,
Dry Store
for the kimchi jjigae, they got a hell of a lot of kimchi over there, so we'll be good. So anyway, Soup, please send us your recipes.
Think of like a kimchi pizza situation.
Oh, remember that time we made it? He made the kimchi pizza. He made the kimchi pizza.
Oh,
for
that's
a Crocs
right.
event.
Yeah,
stellar.
I probably didn't have it then either.
Chunks of sausage on it. It was fucking.
I might have had that one. It was good. Yeah.
So sign up for Patreon for early access to Engineered Garments. Send us your spooky stories. Send us your potato soup recipes and beyond. Not just potato soup. Send us all your soup recipes. Be in touch if you need anything. ShopCanoeClub.com.
Bunch of stuff coming to you from Japan. Also, he and I full on committing because we're saying it on air right now. Man, we're gonna handle the customer service Instagram. So if you don't follow us over there, because we've never promoted it at all, we have an Instagram. It's pretty much just where we post the episodes. But we're idiots and should just be running it because we don't have our own personal Instagram. So we will do that. That's where we're gonna put all our Japan shit. So follow us there.
Yep, sounds good.
And then obviously therell be other places you can find it. But
yes, sir.
All right, we gotta
go. Things. Bye.
All right, bye.